Hey guys, Indy with Ultimate Tool Reviews here. Wanted a quick talk about impact driver bits. So of course, if you're doing any type of project where you got to drive in some screws or some deck screws, some small legs, Tapcons, you're of course going to use impact bits. And depending on where you shop, Lowe's, Home Depot, Harbor Freight, Northern Tool, you're going to find many types of brands to choose from with bits. And there's going to be some price points, but generally most impact driver bits are around that $20 mark. Give or take, if you find some sales, find some deals, they're generally going to be around that similar price points here and there. But that raises the question: is which brand to get? So just going to kind of go over each of the brands here and kind of show you some pros and cons of the impact driver bits to look for with each brand. Now, I'll start off with Dewalt. They're generally widely available, if not one of the most widely available impact driver bit brands out there. And Dewalt is doing some pretty cool stuff. They're actually offering quite a number of selections for bits. I've got a Milwaukee bit holder in there. Don't know how I got that in there. But Dewalt's doing some pretty cool stuff in the fact that these cases are actually entirely customizable. That's not entirely unique to Dewalt. Some other brands offer that as well too. But I do like how they're including these little bins here for storing, assorted bits. They've got, all these are actually removable. You can take these out, move them around. And one thing that Dewalt's doing really cool is they've got these clear cases. So that's a big thing for me. I like to be able to see, okay, I've got this. What's in here? Is there any drill bits in here? No. Okay. I'm going to grab some drill bits as well. We'll also be able to see and quickly tell, hey, here's what I need to find in my bits from looking for something. I'm looking for a Phillips 2. Am I looking for Phillips 1? What am I looking for here? One thing I've noticed with DeWalt is depending on where you buy them, Lowe's or Home Depot, you're going to find a slightly different quality. I found that the Lowe's ones seem to be more of kind of like a thicker size like this. And the Home Depot ones seem to be more like a contractor grade, where they're a little bit smaller, but they're both, in about the same length there. But a little bit larger torsion zone on those contractor grade ones. And myself personally, I really like the smaller heads on bits, because if I'm, gonna put it into something, a little hole or something, I'm driving a screw in there, I can see the screw better with a smaller head on there. Also kind of gives you a little more control too. A lot of these larger heads on these bits, they seem to, get stuck on stuff, or if I'm, driving something in, it doesn't give me a lot of wiggle room there, side to side, when I'm driving something in. So there's something to be considerate there of when you're driving bits to be on alert for the size of the head of a bit you're working with there. Now overall, DeWalt bits, they seem to kind of just be about, right in the middle of the road for impact driver bits. They're durable, but not insanely durable. They're generally cheap, but not too cheap, not too expensive. They're right there in the middle, in my opinion. Are they going to work for you? Yes. Are they the best option? Maybe not. Maybe you can find something better. So that's DeWalt. Now moving on to Hercules. Hercules is kind of the top tier brand at Harbor Freight. Haven't gotten a lot of coverage on these. The pricing, I think, was kind of high when these first came out. It was almost $25 for just this case. And I think they've come down a little bit. I think they're like around $14-15 now for the case with these bits. And overall, these have been actually really good. So they've got a few unique features here, and I really love these extended bits like this. That's really nice. If you're working around something overhead or working around something, and you're holding an impact driver like here, you can see what you're doing without having the impact driver right up against it. So these extended bits have been really, really helpful. As well, if you're ever working with sockets or legs that would require something like an adapter for you to be able to put in your impact driver and be able to basically turn it into an impact wrench. Just something that's always nice to have. As well as a nut driver can always be really useful. I've done some demolition of like screened-in patios, and you're just pulling out really rusted and corroded bolts that will fit these just all the time, and really shows how fast and how durable these can be and how fast they'll wear out, really. Always love the small impact or the small bit holders here, because of course you got plenty of small bits here. And one thing I like to look for in a lot of these sets is going to be just a selection of bits that I need. You never really know sometimes what kind of bit you're gonna need. If you're doing more like decking screws, you got your Torx bits down here. You got some nice selection of square bits over here. Of course, you got your usual Phillips 1, 2, and 3s right here, and a few square heads. So I like sets like this where they're really balanced in what they have. Hercules, I would say they're definitely above average for bits. If you can find a good deal on them, I'd say go for it. I've never had an issue with these breaking prematurely or having any too much of wear or cam out. They seem to work really well. They just don't really seem to get a lot of press. You don't see a lot of these bits out there. But yeah, I've never had an issue with them, and I think they're definitely a great set to have. Now, of course, they don't have a clear case. It's hard to tell what's in them, but they are labeled, which is nice. So it's at least something for Hercules there. And I really like those for that. So overall, Hercules, yeah, definitely would recommend them. They've got a little bit above average for durability. Pricing is okay. Don't really see a lot of deals on those, but overall, definitely a great choice. Moving on to the Makita XPS bits. Makita makes a few types of bits. They've also got the Impact X bits, but I'll just talk about the XPS bits for right now. So this is Makita's new top of the line, replaces the old Gold Series Impact bits, and these have been absolutely fantastic. They are definitely extremely durable, and they've really given me no issues. One thing I like about these is that, you get a good variety in here, but it's kind of lacking compared to a lot of other brands in the fact that, yeah, I get 2 nut drivers. I found these nut drivers to actually be kind of inferior to a lot of other brands. Working with these, I've noticed the Dewalt seem to be a little more durable. I've burned through a number of these nut drivers pretty quick, and they've just been okay. Leaving that with some other bits in here too. There's a good selection of bits in here, so you're going to basically be able to get what you want done. But unless you buy their top end one, I think it's like $30 for the 60-piece set, you're not going to get some of the other cool bits you might find in some other sets. So yeah, Makita is definitely pricey, but you know what? It's generally worth it for a really good bit set. You're not going to get most of the frills you're going to find in a lot of the other brands, but you're just going to get a real rock solid bit set. Definitely one of the best sets out there. Highly recommend the Makita XPS sets. Let's move on to the Milwaukee sets here. And I got a few Bosch bits in there. I like to just fill in the holes here and there. Milwaukee bits have been overall really good. Never had really too many issues with them. I had a few break here and there. It's not a big deal. But they've overall been great, and Milwaukee offers a good variety, pretty much a larger variety than anyone but except probably Dewalt. So Dewalt and Milwaukee are going to have your largest variety of sets out there. Milwaukee does have some absolutely incredible deals on their bit sets. They have some pretty large packs on sale during holiday times, and they do have that smaller head type that I was talking about earlier. And if you look at even like the Bosch, you probably have the smallest heads you've ever seen on bits. They're pretty comparable as well too. A lot of guys swear by Milwaukee bits. I keep like 4 sets in my truck at all times. I think they're absolutely rock solid bits. Now I will say, definitely wait for a sale on the Milwaukee bits. There's always a sale happening probably every 3 to 4 months on Milwaukee bits. Wait till those sales happen and then pick some up. Now, our Milwaukee bits, probably the top end bits out there. I'm going to say they're probably within the top 5 or top 3, but I definitely wouldn't say they're the best ones I've ever used ever. But you know what? They have a great value for them. They work, they get the job done. They're probably pretty good bits all the time. Now, I used to absolutely think Makita XPS bits were pretty much number 1 until I tried the Bosch brand bits. Now, Bosch has some really cool designs on their bits here. One thing I absolutely love about the Bosch bits, and it really seems like Bosch takes an extra bit of time here to really give you that extra bit of detail. So if you notice on all the other bits, they might be labeled, they might not be labeled right on the bit, but Bosch has actually got these engraved, and this set is almost totally new. I've only used a few things in here a couple times, but if you notice that Bosch actually has all of these pointing up with nice, clear, easy to read engravings there on every single bit. Really nice little details like that really make Bosch stand out. As well as these drill bits are amazing. I've burned up, I've many Dewalt bits. I burn those up all the time. But the Bosch bits, they seem to hold up really well, if not 2 to 3 times as long as my Dewalt bits. At the same time, I was doing some larger fencing projects, and I was using just a Bosch bit for most of it. I actually used one Bosch bit. I did about 600 screws over a couple of days, and that bit still looks fantastic. I think I might even have it down here in another case. Yeah, here it is. I was driving in some outdoor screws, and this bit has probably 600-700 screws on it, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Really holds up fantastic for these bits. Other than that, of course, as you can see, this case doesn't have a clear lid on it, but this one is a little bit higher end, and I like having, a little bit of drill bits mixed in with my bits as well. And this one does have the clear case. This one is currently in my Makita pack out that I have for just kind of my everyday use. And I love how the Bosch bits, how they really get a solid grip on pretty much any fastener that you're using. They've obviously been fantastic for me. So I would say the top brands here to buy are probably these 5 looking at it. The only brands that I've really had issues with, and these are the brands that I would say to just kind of avoid per se. Don't really want to talk bad about any brand. I know everyone loves different brands, but the Warrior brand from Harbor Freight has never been really good for me, and also the Ryobi brand from Home Depot has let me down quite a number of times. I've just had a number of bits just break off almost instantly right out of the box. But these 5 brands you can generally rely on. I would say, go look for some good deals on these 5 brands. If you're a big Milwaukee guy, the Milwaukee Shockwave bits are totally fine. Same with DeWalt, same with Makita. Now, if you're looking for, like, say, what's the best brand out of these to buy, it might be up to you. Depending on the type of tools you're using, the type of fasteners you're using, you might say, hey, I like the Makita bits better than the DeWalt bits I'm using, or vice versa. I would say if you're really a diehard tool fan, don't just listen to reviews, don't just listen to what I'm saying, but go out and try a different number of brands. Don't just stick with the one brand that you've always used, that you always know works. Try some other brands out. You might find that one brand might work just a bit better for you. So that's my thoughts, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of different impact bit driver brands. And if you're curious more of the durability of impact bits, definitely check out Project Farm. He has some really cool videos and really puts in a ton of time testing out these bits versus each other. So, all right, guys, take care. Hope you enjoyed the video.